here we go, and in this race to 7, which is very much a sprint, the lag is quite important. Very important, you might say. The distance of these matches, the fact it's Scotch doubles, both are levelling off factors. But one has to say, this is still a couple of Davids against a couple of Goliaths. Mind you,
New Zealand
win the lag with a really brilliant opener.
Combination red 3 onto the green looks a little tricky, so he might try and get closer to the 3. That's what he's tried. He needs this to hit the 6 though. Oh, and he's been fortunate. If it didn't glance to 6, he would have been hooked. So that's okay. Yeah, this is the type of shot now for Singleton where it's all about the pace. You're not sure how the table's playing. Oh, and that is not going to bode well for him. That's going to be worrying times. Always unnettles you, doesn't it, Phil, when you miss a ball early on. He's going to be battling the emotions now. So let's have a look. This will slide a little bit, but it's okay. Keeping the pressure on their opponents.
Important, though, not to take Matt Edwards too lightly. When he made his debut in the World 9-Ball Championship in 2012, he defeated Shane Van Boning 9-7 from 5-1 down. He's also beaten the likes of Chang Junlin, Ruslan Chinnikov, Chris Melling, and Konrad Yuzhushin. So he's had a series of very notable scalps.
These are nasty shots, these, when you can just see a thin edge. Often you can hit this too thick and put it over the corner, so he's going to need a little bit of fortune. He's not got it, and he's broke the 7 and the 9 up, so this is good news for the Germans. They're involved in a battle of the mind now. Well, he's made a mess of this one, hasn't he? I don't know if he was trying to hold for the 9 in the same pocket or come further out, so this is awkward.
Extension, please.
I got the impression, Carl, I think you'll agree, he was trying to hold and he didn't do it.
Well, if there's one player in the world and you want playing this shot, it is Joshua Filler. But this is tricky. It's very tricky.
He's a JDM, is Joshua Filler. Just doesn't miss. He is deadly. What a partner to have. And with that terrific 9-ball, Germany, the defending champions, lead 2-0. Both teams are mic'd up, so we will get some insight as the tournament progresses about their thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not very fluent in German though, Phil, so I'll leave that one to you. I think they're going to be hooked here. Has he gone far enough? It was a great effort, really was, because he had to be straight on this blue too. Well, it looks like he's on it. What a positional shot that was. Oh, that was a great shot from Josh to get Thorsten there in that little gap. It really was.
I was with you there. I thought he'd come up a little too short, but in the end it was a straightforward passage.
Often you don't see the players bump the balls out just because playing the balls down the rail always offers the big pocket. Oh, look at the pace of this one. That is perfect. Cue ball might hit the bump on the middle and just come out.
Germany wins the rack.
The first break and run out of the tournament, and Germany tighten their grip. It is now 4-0.
Get your jump cue to move quick.
You heard the come on there, encouragement from his partner, but because he overcut the three, that cue ball ran and ran.
I'll play the bank.
Got to be careful here though, Simon. Adrenaline can get the better of you, and often. Oh, that's better. That's going to settle the nerves down. Maybe Simon needs to play the rest of this match with a jump cue.
Well, he might be onto something there, because the town he lives in, Queenstown, is known the world over for bungee jumping. After the jump, it was a bank, and the Kiwis could be off and running here. They should be off and running.
Yeah, he put everything into the bank shot there. Kind of forgot about the cue ball. Where the 7 is though, Simon's just got to pop this ball. He's striking down now.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, that's a better shot. That's going to settle him down. Has he lost the cue ball a little bit here? If he's landed on the wrong angle, it's not going to be easy to get close to the 9 here. Well, this is no good. Well, I know Matt's not happy, but I'm afraid you played the poor shot on the 7, Matthew. You left your opponent there, and it was always going to be difficult to get the cue ball round the table and perfect, so it's going to be a bank shot for their first rack. Banking it into the top right. Should go close. He's missed it. It needs to slow down. Is it going to go over the middle? I don't think it has, Phil, do you? I think he's going to have to play the cross bank.
A centimetre away from leaving a certainty. Oh, and Joshua Fella is denied. These 4-inch pockets showing their severity.
Yeah, mate.
Singleton knocks in the 9. And now New Zealand have a single rack on the board. It's a start. Germany lead 4-1.
More heartache for Singleton. He's hooked his buddy behind the purple 5.
Extension.
Extension, please.
Yeah, it's unforgiving in this format whenever you're playing singles. It can be a little easier to handle the mistakes because you've only got yourself to worry about, but Singleton's going to be feeling a little bit guilty. Full ball contact here, good things can happen. He can fluke the three in one of the corners. And it was close. Where's it going to end up? It's not going to be good news.
Well, you predicted the possibility of a fluke, Carl, and it wasn't far off, was it? Now, though, this should be routine stuff for the Germans.
Yeah, even if Thorsten ends up landing straight on the brown 7 for Josh, that will be fine. This looks alright. Yeah, that's good enough. I think overall the Germans will be happy with their first round performance. Granted, New Zealand have helped them in a few racks, but overall I think it's been a good performance, Phil.
Yep. I think so, and I think they're gelling really well together. Torsten Homan has won this title in the past. In 2011, he teamed up with the great Raoul Suke.
Extension, please.
Joshua Filler, though, is a very different kind of player from Suke. Both terrific partners to have. And fittingly, it is Poole's man of the moment who knocks in the decisive 9-ball. We thought Germany were big favourites. That has been vindicated by the scoreline. In the end, Germany, Torsten Homan and Joshua Filler defeat Matt Edwards and Simon Singleton of New Zealand by 7 racks to 1. Nominated to flag for Chinese Taipei, Ko Pin Yi. But it's the Argentinians
Argentina wins the leg.
who get the verdict, Jeremy.
Might play a bit of a two-way shot here. It looks like he's running the cue ball maybe behind the 9. It's going to get away from him. Not only with the cue ball, but also with the object ball. So maybe a bit of nerves here early for Ko Ping Chung. Definitely overhit that ball by some piece. Now what's Argentina do? They have a nice shot on the 5, but I think this is a bit of a mistake. Makes this ball very missable.
I think it's fair to say that for these two, it's the biggest match of their lives, certainly the most watched match of their lives. And there's bound to be nerves.
Well, that'll settle you, because that was a nice shot there on the 6 and a beautiful stroke. I can't recall. I know South America's had some teams in the World Cup before. I'm not sure if Argentina was one of them. Brazil.
Well, of course, in terms of football, soccer as you would know it, Jeremy, Argentina in the World Cup often are favourites. Tools a little bit different, but here Castro and Rodriguez could make their mark. And unlike our first match, The underdogs make the agreeable start. Argentina 1, Chinese Taipei 0, and that was all about a poor shot from Ko Ping-chung.
Yeah, like this, I think it's a little easier to get at. And smart shot. One thing I see is between the two brothers is Ko Ping-yi much more comfortable with the clock. You can kind of see Ko Ping-chung kind of looking over his shoulder at the clock constantly, trying to make sure he's not really pushing it too much. But I gotta realize 30 seconds, even though it is a little short, there's still enough time.
As always, contact paramount. Tried to be just a little too cute there, I thought. Playing the thin flick. And he made no contact at all.
And Argentina probably, out of any two in the event, the least amount of time at the table as far as the TV arena here. Slick table. Gonna get another chance at it, and watch out, 9-ball. This is not a difficult kick. It doesn't look like anyways. Actually should be a part of the game these two excel at. South America, they play a bit of 3 cushion, so going to the rail first, nothing new. Now they're on 2 fouls.
Start the clock, please.
好。
So vital to get that sorted.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, we're, at times trying to make it to where the break isn't as big, but no matter what you do, it's always going to be a huge part of the game and really something that gets the players going, Phil.
We'll look at the final of our last event, the UK Open. Joshua Filler trailed Francisco Sanchez Ruiz 7-5. He won the next 8 racks to triumph, and he won 6 of those racks running out from the break.
And he's one of those guys that's going to do that. That's just part of it. Ruiz, another one of those guys that we saw put a lot of racks together. Safety behind the 7 here, maybe? Oh, that's way light. That's going to hurt.
Should have been you to play. You played the push-out. Yeah, so you have to go again, so you should have played.
Well, it's a foul shot. They got out of order here, Phil. You're not going to be notified by the referees on whose turn to play it is. And a big mistake here, not only in the execution, but even more so mentally.
Yes, it's not the responsibility of the referee, in this instance, Brendan Moore, to tell them, but it is his responsibility to notice an infraction, which of course has just occurred, and that could be really costly.
Big shot here for Ko Ping-yi. And where's he going with the cue ball? Is he going to just kind of come 1 rail towards the 8? Going to come 4 rails around the 9?
Making sure his shirt doesn't touch the 9 ball. Oh, and the 6 hardly touched the jaws. That was very lucky where the cue ball finished up.
Yeah, well, the 4-inch pockets will cost you on making some shots, but occasionally it will save the cue ball for you as well. Yeah, not much he can do here. I may just play the 6 over to the side rail for like a very soft safety here. And you have to get used to making quick decisions with the shot clock.
Chinese Taipei will now know that these two are raw. We've seen it on several occasions. Inexperienced with the shot clock, inexperienced on this stage also. They won't be taking anything for granted. But they'll feel pretty good about their chances, especially if they get little rubs like that.
And that was a delicate shot from some distance, but again, it shouldn't matter here. Again, I see Ko Pik Chung kind of rushing around a little bit.
More mistakes from Argentina. Chinese Taipei lead 3-1, and of course one of the mistakes in that rack was a mental aberration, playing out of turn.
Now, would you chop the 2 here and come back into the 3 with the cue ball? Can you follow it going through the 2 ball? Oh, he's playing the 2 underneath the 3-8 cue ball behind the 5, I believe. Looks like the speed's pretty ideal.
And it doesn't matter the gulf in what teams have achieved, what individuals have achieved in this tournament. Because of the cutthroat format, race to 7s, nothing is taken for granted. Chinese Taipei continue to play hard safety, and it is reaping rewards.
Start the clock, please.
Yeah, and just like you said in the last rack, the Ko brothers are going to recognize their competition and play the percentages, you know, from there, as they should. Bit of fortune here, Phil.
Well, in snooker, when someone misses and they get a fluke snooker, we say second prize. I think in that instance it's perhaps first prize.
Yeah, and that's the thing with 9-ball pool, when you're faced with a situation where the offensive shot, or the defensive shot rather, is just as difficult as the offense. You generally go offense because you never know. With a miss, you can certainly become pretty fortunate. And the Ko brothers are very fortunate here. Already seen a few missed kicks, and we're going to see another, it looks like.
Foul stroke. Ball in.
Castro and Rodriguez are very prone to fouls.
It's got to go.
Just didn't get hold of the cue ball.
No, and I'll tell you, I may go for the side rail kick here. The 8 off the 9 in that corner we're kind of staring at is a big ball. Not only that, the 9 will rocket towards the side. So very surprised he's kicking to the back rail, the bottom rail here. Should still contact the 8. How good is that? I know he didn't make it, but to hold the cue ball like that was pretty impressive.
Now what can Argentina do? Will the back arm go through as he wanted to? It does.
Well, we've seen Rodriguez away from the table. with some smiles and trying to stay lighthearted, and that's a good sign.
That was more like it. They thought they were going to fall even further behind, but then the positional misjudgment on the 8-ball opened the door and Argentina walked through. So now they need some inspiration, some good break-offs, and who knows. Right now, it's 5-2.
It's got to go a bit.
Well, the previous shot from Chinese Taipei asked for trouble, and they're not in any.
I think he'll go for this. So good at that shot.
Smile on the face, candidate for best shot, well, not just of this match, but I think of the session so far. Superb. And the 9-ball goes in to follow. That was a really good way for Ko Ping-yi and Ko Ping-chung to arrive on the hill. They lead Argentina 6-2.
See awkward cueing, all ball fouls. Luke on the 1 and decent position on the 2. A little bit overrun, it looks like.
I always think that's particularly cruel. Chinese Taipei are so good, they don't need to be lucky.
We'll see how he cues the white ball. It's like just knocking the 6 back down table, holding the cue ball here on this bottom rail.
They really are cheery characters on and off the table. I suppose when you're 6-2 up and your opponents are snookered, that's a good reason to be cheery, especially now. That could be the curtain falling.
Start the clock, please.
And it certainly should be, and probably the one thing that Castro would like to have back in this match is the kick shot itself. He's missed 3 or 4, and we know what that does at this level. That'll give you a lot of marks in the loss column. But still, even there, if you kept an eye on Ko Ping-yi himself during that 7-ball, he still wasn't sure about the cue ball after he hit it, and so he's going to have to get back to the practice table and get himself a little bit more comfortable.
That's absolutely true. He's been guilty of being a little tentative, there's no doubt about it. But Ko Ping-yi, his elder brother, has guided him through. It's not been a good session, this, for the Southern Hemisphere. First, New Zealand, heavily defeated by Germany. And now, in the second match, Chinese Taipei defeat Argentina by 7 racks to 2.
They're ready, and we're ready. Really looking forward to this first match. Calling this is Riley Williams and Cole Boys.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Sorry.
This has got the makings of a classic, unlike the first 2 matches, where it was pretty much one-sided, as we expected. Both favourites made it through. This one's just got a feeling that it's going to be a lot tighter.
Albania wins the lock.
Delighted. The Spar Hugh now.
Now, my instinct on this shot would be to just try to load it up with a lot of right-hand spin to get up for the green 6. Is that what he's going to do?
Yeah, nicely done indeed. Cue ball off the rail as well. Seen a lot of the modern day pool players play with an extension on the butt end of the cue. Standard length cue is 57, 58, call it. There you see. A lot of the players are screwing an extension on the bottom of the cue to make it, well, very, very long.
Nice little draw on that one. Yeah, does the extension also stabilize your cue a little bit? What's the point of that?
I think I've spoke to Jason about it and SVB, and Shane just seems to think it just makes each shot not need as much power. You can get more cue power on it. Catchy's not happy with that one though. Didn't go in clean. He prides himself on potting the ball, so he won't be happy with that one, but it has fell in nevertheless. And it's the first rack to Albania. Bassard to break in rack 2. The 9 ball is moving. The 9 ball's moving. Nearly a golden. This could be a quick rack though, Rolly. Look where the 9 ball's finished.
Looks like it, yeah. Normally, you know, it's a good idea to try to get all the balls in order, but when that 9 ball is hanging in the pocket, it just is too tempting for these pros.
Yeah, Catchy's just going to draw the cue ball up the rail, you feel. Maybe try and go rail first with the cue ball. And you feel any contact, the 9's going to fall for a quick rack. He's definitely playing this. The 9 is hanging, it's begging. And just like that, it's 2-0. This is what can happen in 9 ball. This is what makes it fast and furious. This is awkward. Wow. That was an average shot. He's tried to play a cross bank to get the cue ball back up table for the 3. And he's made a complete mess of that one. Look at the shock.
Yeah, this whole rack has been kind of a series of underhit and overhit shots. What do you think is going on in there, on the table down there?
You've played 9 ball before, Rolly. You know, like, it's not as easy as the players make it look, and certain angles and things are just not quite there. And for your partner, so it's a safety shot. So this weird rack continues. These are the racks I like though, when it's not just all break and run. There's a few things going on, a few safety shots, a few mistakes.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to remember. All 4 of these people can string racks together, rack after rack after rack. So it's not as though they can't do it. It's just the randomness of the table and the slick conditions that are making these shots go off.
Purposely kicking from behind. He would have known the right centre was in play. It was a good shot.
You think he was going for that shot?
I think in the back of his mind he knew that the centre pocket was there. I think it was all about the pace. If it hits a little high or a little low, he finds the bottom rail.
All right, this is more like the Albania I'm used to.
So it was the kick shot from the Tsar, which has took this third rack. Two ball would go, well, maybe he can play off it thin actually. I thought it was a little thicker. If he can play off it thin, he'll just snip it thin, get the cue ball back down towards the 8. Yeah, he can. Wants the 2 ball to hit the 6, sorry. Cue ball's been very good though, so good shot. And that's always going to make you feel good when you're not used to the cameras and the lights.
Yeah, and the shot clock is 30 seconds here. You do not have that much time to decide what you're going to do. It looked like there was a potential jump shot, but you don't get to second guess yourself when you've only got 30 seconds on the board and only one extension.
Well, he's making a lot of racket choking that jump cue, isn't he? What's he doing, man? Oh, and he's made a mess of it. The shot clock got to him. Kachi should know better. He's played in Mosconi Cups. Usually when the player is not at the table and it's not their shot, we always do this in the Mosconi where you should be watching the clock. You should be, you know, prepared to call the extension to the referee. Well, he is doing, so this is going to be thin. Now, is the 2 ball going to kind of slide off the bottom rail and then off the left rail and go up table? There's a bit of a two-way shot as well.
I think there's just enough space that that 9 ball is going to go right in the corner here.
Well, what a shot. He's actually made the 2 as well, but the main thing is the 9 ball has gone. An early combo. It's another quick rack for Albania. 4-1. That was not as easy as it looked. Little gap.
Yeah.
Well, he's tried to overpower it, completely miss-hit it. Cue ball looked like it was going to fly off the table. And it kind of hopped down the rail and scratched.
Lots of juice on that break. 3 balls into the same lower left pocket. Sadly, one of them was the cue ball, so he's not going to get the benefit from it. Yeah, the cue ball really hopped up off that 2 ball. Maybe just a little bit of a, let's see if I can just power it through.
Also, he knew firing the 2 into the 8, he needed to get a bit of distance, and they're going to be happy with that.
Yeah, for some reason I think Kachi's going to drill this one, though. He's really good at these long jump shots. He's got a lot of table to look at.
Thing is with this type of shot, you expect at this level the player is always going to hit this 2 ball. That's the microphone you can hear screeching away on the jump cue. Oh, you called it, Rory. And what a shot he's played here. Has it held it though? It's a tight one. As Bassar runs round the table, he's not happy. I think he's going back for his jump cue. And he is. So we're going to see back-to-back jump shots. Look at that. Jump shot with draw.
You know, the last couple of racks, it has been all Italy on these rolls. I guess early on, Albania was catching some lucky rolls, but Italy's really been getting lucky on these.
Sounds like he's chalking concrete when he puts the chalk on his jump cue. He's got to be careful he don't scratch in the bottom right here. That is on if he hits this bad. Oh, it's a jump shot exhibition here from Albania, back to back. Are we going to see another one?
Can't tell. Is that 6 ball in the way? Oh, no. He's got that 4 clean.
Looks awful thin though, this to me. This is a lot thinner than we think. Yeah, and he's not even played the pot in the side. He's purposely played this, put the 4-ball on the top rail, and get the distance. Good shot. And if he's got the hook, it's even better. They seen a look at that shot. It's all about speed control, making sure you get that 4-ball dead on the top rail. That just offers the distance, and then sometimes you do get the hook. He's trying to pot this in the top left. You feel like he'll go close. Watch the cue ball. Watch the cue ball.
You know, prime for the shooting.
Just these 2 balls remain on what has been a poor event for Albania in the past. Well, we can finally put a smile on the face, but he nearly missed the 7. Again, and you're seeing the cue ball go way up table. I mean, what's he doing? Just pot the ball, leave catchy anywhere.
Yeah, they might have to talk about that after they clear up here. You know, just trying to strategize for the next match.
Yeah, and them 7 balls, after a couple of the days, they're going to start to stay up. That is purely the sheen off the cloth on the balls. But finally, Albania can smile in the World Cup of Pool. They've won this match convincingly over Italy. What a match. What an opening afternoon session here on day 1 of this year's World Cup of Pool. Italy are gone, Albania are through.